Matthew 24:22 refers to a shortening of God's established timetable in order to protect His elect, His chosen people. This verse tells us that if the work of Satan were not brought to an early end, no salvation of anyone else would be possible because of the tremendous mountain of lies which destroys faith in God. And also, this verse specifically says something very interesting, and please notice especially that this shortening of the time is for the sake of the elect. Think of this. If Christians have it all together and are not about to be drowned in the sea of Satan's lies, then why would God have to shorten the time for our sake? Think about it. God isn't talking about saving our physical lives, but in saving our souls. And the deception all around us is unbelievably strong. If the time were not shortened, then even His elect in these last days would lose faith and eventually be lost. God doesn't have to shorten the time to save those who are in no danger. Therefore, if you think Christians are not in any danger, think again. Yes, God will save us, but from this verse we can see that we are not completely pleasing to God, for we are in the midst of spiritual Babylon. That's why in Jeremiah 51 and Revelation 18, the Bible warns God's people to flee from that wicked city, to come out of Babylon. Now, physical Babylon does not exist as a populated city in our current world, but spiritual Babylon does exist. Babylon the Great is a symbolic term describing those people who are in bed with the world. They are more concerned with all the things that can stimulate their fleshly lifestyle than with things which accomplish the work of God in the earth. Of course, this doesn't mean that you are one of these people, but then if you are part of the TV and movie scene and your future plans of prosperity center around you and what you can get more of and how you can get it, then this probably does refer to you. At any extent, Christians are dying like flies. They might still be walking around on their feet, but many are dead on their feet. They aren't really Christians anymore, but just trying to look like Christians. What the church of today is experiencing is the falling away referred to in 2 Thessalonians 2:3. This falling away is a falling away from the truth of God. It is a defection from the principles of Christianity and an acceptance of the world's moral standard instead of God's standard, and it is happening now. The church is in imminent peril. We are so immersed in Satan's end-time system that we are deceived and don't know it, and are in danger of drowning in the devil's decadent lifestyle. We have little time to do the work of the Lord, but plenty of time to waste on frivolous things. Instead of having the mind of Christ, we have the mind of an animal, the mind of the beast. We have been putting on the nature of the beast, the flesh nature, and have forgotten what a spirit man should be. So, how is God going to get our attention? Maybe God is trying to warn His people and no one is listening? After all, He says He is coming back for a church without spot or wrinkle. If so, then He isn't just waiting around for the rapture like so many Christians are. Instead, He's trying to tell His people to get their robes washed before it's too late. We can't be immersed in the world and still have garments that are unspotted from the flesh. We are supposed to be Christians who are robed in purity, which means that we should be wearing robes that are white and bright, not spattered and spotted with the muck and mire of this world. In closing, let me refer again to the schoolyard illustration. When little Jim Bricker stepped across the line and confronted Buford Hayes, the school bully, it wasn't just little Jim that benefited, but it also benefited all the other kids that had been bullied around by Buford. If you're not willing to step across the line for your own sake, at least think about doing it for the sake of all the others around you who are too afraid to do it themselves. Somebody has to do it, so why not you? Don't you think Earth's bully has pushed God's people around long enough? Besides, after you step over the line, you'll like yourself a whole lot better. You may not be liked by everyone around you, but at least they won't have any trouble seeing what God is really like. All they'll have to do is watch you.